when I was a kid, I remember very clearly turning to my father when someone bullied me, generally mistreated me. And when I would come to him for comfort and compassion, his response to me, his first question, when I came to him telling him that someone had hurt me, was, "What did you do? What did you do? You must have done something." That's my first experience with victim blaming and the horrible pain that comes when someone you assume you can turn to in times of need blames you when you've been hurt. The general public is aware, or at the very least familiar with the kind of gaslighting and victim blaming that plays out in abusive relationships. You made me do it, baby. You made me beat you, hit you, rape you. You know my temper. You know who I am. And you pushed my button. You landed on my last nerve. So you don't deserve compassion. And I don't deserve blame. Which is very convenient for those who would perpetuate physical and emotional abuse on other people. I have mentioned before on this channel that I am committed to the idea of reconciliation between skeptics and social justice advocates, but a few months into that process, even though I'm not giving up on it, I am deeply discouraged at the prospects of a movement that puts rationality so far above empathy that cruelty and shaming and blaming victims is a virtue. Could ever find real common ground with a movement whose fundamental narrative is about blaming the oppressor for the suffering of the oppressed, which you would think would be a simple enough idea to agree on. That rapists are responsible for the rape and not the victim for enticing or rejecting or whatever bullshit reason the victimizer gives for why he beat or choked or sodomized or murdered their partner. How can empaths within the social justice community, that being our highest value, compassion, how can we reconcile ourselves with a group to whom tough love is the only viable solution for helping people? Oh, you're overweight? I'm going to make a bunch of jokes about how disgusting you are until you lose weight. Oh, you got raped? What did you do? Did you fight back enough? Did you scream loud enough? Did you file a police report on time? Reason without empathy is as useless as empathy without reason. When the skeptics and the social activists are so alienated from each other on this basic precept, we create the gap into which the alt-right, or even hell, run-of-the-mill conservatives can inject themselves into the conversation. How can they do that? Well, they look at the SJWs and their deep commitment to compassion, and they say, what about white people? What about compassion for white working class people? What about the forgotten man? I've got a solution for you. And then they look at the rational skeptics, and they say, these social justice advocates, this Black Lives Matters, look how irrational they are. Don't let them get at your feelings with this police brutality talk, this rape culture talk. That would be unreasonable, irrational. Isn't a white ethno-state just reasonable response to the assault on white men by the mainstream media? You wouldn't want to dismiss us irrationally by using emotional terms like Nazi. That makes you an SJW. You're one of them. You're one of them. You want to blame somebody for the rise of the alt-right? Blame 4chan. They're not a reaction to political correctness. They're a reaction to progress. They are a reaction to a world in which they are not the default. They have to be the hero of every story. Every piece of media and entertainment needs to be tailored to their fetishes. The male gaze must maintain dominion over popular culture. The alt-right is a result of a society making progress for other people than cis-het white males. We're not here to replace you. We just want to stand alongside you. And that drives you fucking berserk. Because the human story isn't supposed to be about black heroes. The human story is not supposed to be about women as heroes, Asians as heroes, homosexuals, transgender, non-binary people as heroes. At very best, we're supposed to be sidetracked, to the story of the great white conqueror. You want to blame somebody for your position of privilege being compromised. You should probably blame yourself for not reforming in the first place. Maybe if you told more diverse and inclusive stories, maybe if you included us in the public consciousness as more than decorations, we wouldn't have to push you out the hard way.